Over the past few months, I have been quietly falling in love. The first night we met, we discovered that we both loved playing PlayStation 1 games on our laptops. I remember I left that night thinking, fuck, I really like him. But I had just decided it was a non negotiable for me to date someone who didn't have the same interests as me. I needed someone I could match with on an intellectual level. And what were the chances that you were also passionate about philosophy, psychology, and spirituality? The next time we met, I tested the waters and I asked if you like Carl Jung. I love Carl Jung, you said, and Nietzsche, and Freud. And it turns out that you studied theology at university. I believe there's no greater joy in love than discovering that you've both read the same books, and I can't tell you how many nights we spent talking until the sun came up, while your friends could see that we were falling in love. I felt a gravitational pull towards you that was overwhelming, but the timing was not good. I had just left a short relationship that started off as a fantasy, but quickly turned into a nightmare worse than anything I could have possibly imagined. I've never been one to jump from relationship to relationship, and so I needed time to process that. What was in me as well that made me prone to getting lost in the fantasy? I spoke to you about it, and you told me that I had experienced one end of the spectrum on how I was treated and asked me to give you the chance to show you the other end. I told you that I was emotionally unavailable, but I was interested in getting to know you. You left for Cairo, and I went to Italy. During that time, I missed you dearly, and I spent many, many nights awake, well past the sunrise, simply thinking about you. I would replay our last hug in my mind, and I kept imagining the next one. The more I got to know you, the more I found very strange coincidences and overlaps in our personalities. You are a deeply introspective person, and I have found that you have contemplated many of the same topics that I have and drawn similar conclusions. I feel a familiarity with you because of that, and a sense of belonging that is very rare to me, but also very meaningful. Something I've struggled with my entire life is feeling different to everyone, and consequently, alone. But you are the same as me. It's like all these weird crevices of my psyche that I didn't even realize felt lonely suddenly overlapped with you. Like the way I organize my life and the stages of my journey into chapters, you organize them into versions. For example, you're currently on version 18 of RAF. When I told you I was from Australia, you told me there was a small town there you always wanted to visit, called Geelong. This happens to be the town where I'm from. Then, one night, you told me that you always dreamed of living in a circular house. I literally threw my head back and laughed. Months previously, I had uploaded a video on my YouTube saying that I always felt like I was supposed to live in a circular house. And this is one of many reasons why I just felt like I didn't belong in this world. I showed you the video with a look of disbelief on my face. You laughed. Just surrender, you said. To you, it was the most obvious thing in the world. And that night, I finally stopped resisting. And I did. Since then, I have been navigating the push-pull of wanting to be together so bad, but also wanting to take things slow so that I had a greater chance of lasting. I didn't want that firecracker type of love anymore, the type that falls hard and fast into a fantasy, but burns out just as quick. I saw the potential for something real here, and I wanted our love to burn like a slow coal instead. Admittedly, I also wanted time to assess your character and find out who you really were. You have impressed me so much with who you are as a man. You are so brave. You are not afraid of hard conversations, and you have the courage to speak and receive truth. You always aim up, and I learn so much from you. I admire you. I look up to you. You provide for me and nurture me, and you always make me feel protected. You are so smart. More so, you are so wise. I feel like I can exhale around you because I don't have to be the leader anymore. I trust you to take control of any situation, and you always tell me to take the stress off my chest and let it fall on you. You completely take me out of survival mode and put me into my feminine. I feel so incredibly safe with you in a way that I never have before. You healed me in ways that I didn't even know were still aching. With you, I feel so seen, so free, so respected, and so valued. You treat me every day like I'm the biggest blessing to come into your life, and you never forget to tell me that. I'm so impressed with you that I often wonder how you were still single, but I understand that most people would overlook your value. I understand this because the same is true for me. In the past, whenever I would come to a partner with a problem I was having with them, they would always get angry and defensive and punish me for speaking my truth. What I'm really doing in those moments is pointing at the places where a man can grow, but a boy doesn't want to hear that. To me, this has always been the glass ceiling of a relationship and the moment when I know that I have to leave. As a result, I always felt like my wisdom was wasted in relationships. like I was casting pearls among swine, as the saying goes, and no man knew my worth because he couldn't even see it. Whenever I've come to you with a problem, you've held space for me, and you always thank me for speaking my truth. You listen and you evolve. You have risen to every challenge, and that is why I surrendered to you. Every time we have a problem, you always have a solution, and so every hard conversation for us has been a portal that has taken both of us to a higher evolution of us. This is why I trust you as a leader. I evolve with you in ways that I cannot on my own, and because of that, this love is extra dimensional for me. You have smashed through that glass ceiling and redefined love for me. At the same time, you call out my blinders and ego and fears and shine a mirror on me and force me to evolve. As the health of our relationship has become my greatest priority, you have forced me to act in my higher self and level up, as I know my lower self and ego will damage it. One night when we were laying together, I literally burst into tears because I was overwhelmed with this feeling that you are my reward. You are my reward for everything bad that I've ever gone through in my life. You are my reward because I never stopped believing that I would find this type of love in my lifetime. In that moment, I was overwhelmed with this feeling that I could achieve anything I believed in from now on because you were living proof of it. You make me feel limitless, like there's so much to accomplish and explore because you're always behind me, empowering me. And this makes me feel so free. What a curious thing to discover that a relationship can make you feel more free. The thing I love the most about us is the fact that we accept each other fully for who we are. There are truly no skeletons in our closets. It is complete freedom. When I showed you my blog about my trauma and my past, you told me it filled you with pride. You said you were proud of me for what I turned it into and that I always aimed up. One night we were at a birthday dinner, and when you walked away, someone we had just met looked at me and said, "That guy is such a nerd." I laughed, and he asked me how we met. "We met on the roof of the Neom Hotel," I said, "and we realized that we both love playing vintage video games." "Ah," he said, "so you're a nerd too." And it's true. I may love fashion and makeup now, but inside, I'll always be that fat kid, the outsider who loves learning. The thing I love the most about you is the fact that despite how responsible and serious you are, you've kept your inner child alive. I'm grateful for that because I've also kept my inner child alive, and now our inner children can play together. We are both Digimon kids, video game kids, and kids with a history of crazy hair. You understand the wisdom of play, and we spend so much time playing and having fun together, whether that be Crash Bandicoot, board games, or riding on the back of your electric bike through Dahab at 4 a.m. under the stars, the entire road and world to ourselves. Life is always an adventure with you. I'm so grateful that you've done the work, for everything that you've been through to become the person that you are, and for walking the journey so you can meet me here in the middle. I believe the strength of any relationship depends upon the similarity of the rate at which both people are growing. I now feel like I have companionship on the journey, someone to walk with, side by side. If God is good, then this love will last forever. I see the potential for that, and I'm trying not to get lost in the fantasy. But I'm also wise enough to know that this type of love is rare. It is conscious love, evolved love. We kept our standards high, and we were both willing to die alone in the pursuit of it. When we first met, you told me, quote, "Although I might mean nothing at this point, I still want to say the following words. I'm capable of respecting you and treating you gently as you deserve. I'm a transparent, honest, and sincere man. I can imagine much about what you might have been through without saying. It's so sad how there are males who never made it to become men. Furthermore, many of them bring shame to manhood. It's easier said than done, but time will let you know that I choose to be a real man, even when it costs much." Raf Alexander, you have lived up to your word.